Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Harry grows up with the Dursleys, completely unaware that he is anything more than an ordinary boy. His life is miserable, cramped and controlled, and the world keeps telling him he is unimportant. Then, on his 11th birthday, everything changes when Hagrid tells him the truth. Harry is a wizard, his parents were killed by Voldemort, and he survived the killing curse as a baby. At Hogwarts, Harry enters the magical world for the first time, and everything feels bigger, stranger, and more alive than anything he has ever known. He makes friends with Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, joins Gryffindor, and quickly realizes that his name already means something to the people around him. For once, he is not invisible. For once, he belongs somewhere. But even as he learns magic and begins to settle in, there is already something dangerous hidden inside the school. Hogwarts is exciting, but it is not safe. The first year slowly turns into a mystery about the Philosopher's Stone, a magical object that can grant immortality. Harry believes Snape is trying to steal it, but the real villain is Professor Quirrell, who has been secretly helping Voldemort survive. By the end, Harry protects the stone and comes face to face with Voldemort for the first time. He does not fully understand the scale of the war yet, but he has already been pulled into it. This is where the whole story begins, with a boy discovering that the life he thought was normal was never meant for him at all. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry returns to Hogwarts for his second year, but the school is quickly thrown into fear when students begin getting attacked and petrified. What should have been another year of lessons and friendships becomes a nightmare, as rumors spread that the legendary Chamber of Secrets has been opened again. People start believing that something inside it is targeting students who are not from magical families. As the mystery deepens, Harry becomes more suspicious to others because he can hear voices in the walls and speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes. Instead of helping him, these things make him look dangerous. That isolation matters because this is the first time Harry begins to feel that the world around him might be turned against him just for being different. Along with Ron and Hermione, he starts investigating the attacks and eventually discovers that everything is connected to an old diary that once belonged to Tom Riddle. The big reveal is that Tom Riddle is Voldemort's real name, and the diary contains a preserved piece of his younger self. That makes the mystery feel much bigger because the threat is not just a monster in the school, it is Voldemort reaching into Harry's life again through the past. When Ginny Weasley is taken into the chamber, Harry goes down to save her, faces the basilisk, destroys the diary with a basilisk fang, and stops Tom Riddle from returning through her. It is a huge victory, but it also reveals something disturbing. Voldemort can survive inside objects, and that idea becomes crucial later. This film pushes the story deeper into darkness and shows that the battle is not just against a person, but against pieces of him that never really died. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Sirius Black escapes from Azkaban, and everyone believes he betrayed Harry's parents to Voldemort and is now coming after Harry. That immediately gives the film a more personal edge, because Harry is no longer dealing with a random school mystery. He thinks he is being hunted by a man connected to the death of his family. Because of Sirius's escape, Dementors are stationed around Hogwarts. These creatures affect Harry more than most people because they force him to relive the trauma of his parents' deaths. That makes this year feel heavier than the first two, because Harry is not only dealing with danger outside himself, he is also being dragged back into the worst memory of his life every time he comes near them. Professor Lupin helps Harry deal with the Dementors by teaching him the Patronus charm. That relationship matters because Lupin is one of the first adults at Hogwarts who genuinely understands Harry and tries to help him without using him. Through that, the film gives Harry a rare glimpse of what safety and guidance should actually feel like. But as the story unfolds, Harry learns that Sirius was not the traitor at all. Sirius was James Potter's best friend and Harry's godfather, while the real traitor was Peter Pettigrew, who framed Sirius and helped Voldemort find the Potters. That twist changes everything because Harry finally learns that the past he was told is incomplete and wrong. The film also reveals that Lupin is a werewolf and that Sirius can transform into a dog. Sirius escapes before his name can be cleared, but Harry finally gains a connection to his parents and the possibility of family outside the Dursleys. This is the film where the story becomes more personal because Harry starts to understand that the truth about his family has been hidden from him all along. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry is forced into the Triwizard Tournament, a dangerous magical competition between 3 schools, even though he is far too young to enter. His name is mysteriously chosen by the Goblet of Fire, and from that moment on, the year feels wrong. Instead of school feeling like a place of growth, it starts feeling like a machine pushing him towards something he does not understand. He has to face a dragon, survive underwater, and make his way through a magical maze. On the surface, the tournament looks like an exciting challenge, but the tension keeps building because every task feels more dangerous than the last. The film keeps making it clear that Harry is not just competing, he is being moved into position. That is because the whole tournament is a trap designed to deliver Harry straight to Voldemort. At the end of the maze, Harry and Cedric Diggory touch the Triwizard Cup and are transported to a graveyard. Cedric is killed, Voldemort returns to full physical form, and Harry is forced to duel him. It is the first time the story fully shows that this is no longer a hidden war, it is open now. The truth is then revealed that Professor Moody was actually Barty Crouch Jr. in disguise, using Polyjuice Potion to manipulate Harry throughout the year. That reveal makes the whole film feel like a setup in hindsight, because every small moment has been part of a larger plan. This is the point where the series stops feeling like a school adventure and becomes a story about surviving a war that has already begun. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. After Voldemort's return, Harry tells the truth, but the Ministry of Magic refuses to believe him. Instead of preparing for war, they try to discredit Harry and Dumbledore, which leaves Harry frustrated, angry, and more isolated than ever. That denial makes the entire film feel suffocating because Harry is carrying a truth that the world around him refuses to accept. Dolores Umbridge is sent to Hogwarts by the Ministry, and she slowly takes control of the school. Her rule is brutal because she does not just restrict students, she tries to erase real learning and replace it with obedience. When she refuses to teach proper defensive magic, Harry creates Dumbledore's Army, a secret group where students can learn to defend themselves. This is also the moment Harry starts becoming more of a leader because he has to become the thing the adults around him refuse to be. At the same time, Harry begins having visions connected to Voldemort. Voldemort uses that connection to trick Harry into believing Sirius is being tortured at the Ministry, so Harry and his friends rush there to save him. But it is a trap, and once again Harry is forced to watch the consequences of trusting the wrong information. A battle breaks out between the students, the Order of the Phoenix, and the Death Eaters, and Sirius is killed by Bellatrix Lestrange. That loss hits Harry hard because Sirius was the closest thing he had to family outside Hogwarts. Dumbledore then duels Voldemort, and the Ministry is finally forced to accept the truth. Voldemort has returned, and the war is no longer coming. It has already started, and Harry can no longer stay on the edge of it. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Dumbledore begins preparing Harry for the final battle by showing him memories from Voldemort's past. This shift matters because the story is no longer just about surviving Voldemort. It is about understanding how he was built, what makes him dangerous, and what has to be destroyed in order to stop him. Through those memories, Harry learns that Voldemort created Horcruxes, objects that contain pieces of his soul so that he can survive almost anything. That discovery explains why Voldemort has been so difficult to defeat and why the diary from the second film mattered so much. It was not just a magical diary, it was one of Voldemort's Horcruxes, and that makes the whole series feel more connected. While Harry learns about Horcruxes, Draco Malfoy is secretly given the mission to kill Dumbledore. Draco spends the film trying to complete it, but he is clearly frightened and trapped by Voldemort's expectations. That makes his storyline more tragic than simple, because he is not acting like a confident villain. He is a scared boy being pushed into something he cannot handle. Harry also finds an old potions textbook that belonged to someone called the Half-Blood Prince. The book helps him in class but also contains dangerous spells, which gives the year a strange double meaning. Harry is being helped, but he is also being pulled toward darker knowledge. At the end of the film, Harry discovers that the Half-Blood Prince is Snape. Then Snape kills Dumbledore after Draco fails to do it. Harry is devastated, but he now understands what comes next. He has to find and destroy Voldemort's Horcruxes, and the safety net that protected him is gone. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1. Harry, Ron, and Hermione leave Hogwarts and begin searching for Voldemort's Horcruxes. The wizarding world has become much darker, the Ministry has fallen, and Voldemort's followers are taking control. Everything that once felt stable is now collapsing, and the trio is left trying to complete the mission with almost no guidance. Most of the film follows them on the run. They do not have Dumbledore to guide them anymore, and they only have fragments of information to work with. That makes the mission feel slow, lonely, and dangerous. The film does a good job of showing how heavy that kind of pressure becomes when there is no safe place left to return to. They eventually find the locket Horcrux, but wearing it makes them angry, paranoid, and emotionally unstable. The pressure becomes too much for Ron, and he leaves Harry and Hermione for a while. That break in the trio matters because it shows that the Horcruxes are not just physical objects, they corrode the people around them too. When Ron eventually returns and destroys the locket with the Sword of Gryffindor, it proves that their friendship is still stronger than Voldemort's influence. The film also introduces the Deathly Hallows, the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Invisibility Cloak. Harry starts to realize that Voldemort is searching for the Elder Wand because he wants the most powerful wand in existence. The film ends with Dobby rescuing Harry and his friends from Malfoy Manor, but Dobby is killed in the escape. At the same time, Voldemort takes the Elder Wand from Dumbledore's grave, and the final battle becomes unavoidable. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2. Harry, Ron, and Hermione break into Gringotts to steal another Horcrux, then return to Hogwarts because Harry believes one of the remaining Horcruxes is hidden there. Once Harry comes back, Hogwarts becomes the final battlefield. The place that once introduced him to the magical world is now where everything has to be settled. Students, teachers, and members of the Order of the Phoenix prepare to fight Voldemort and his army. The Horcruxes are destroyed one by one, but Harry eventually learns the most painful truth of all. He himself is an accidental Horcrux because a piece of Voldemort's soul attached itself to him when Voldemort tried to kill him as a baby. That discovery changes the entire ending because it means Harry cannot win by simply fighting harder. Harry has to let Voldemort kill him if Voldemort is ever going to be fully defeated. So Harry walks into the Forbidden Forest and sacrifices himself. He survives, and the story then reveals just how much had been hidden from him all along. Harry sees Snape's memories and learns that Snape loved Lily Potter and had secretly been helping Dumbledore protect Harry for years. That revelation reframes almost everything about Snape, because all the cruelty and bitterness were hiding a long, painful loyalty. In the final battle, Neville destroys Nagini, the last Horcrux, and Harry faces Voldemort one last time. Voldemort loses because he never understood loyalty, sacrifice, love, or the true ownership of the Elder Wand. Harry does not defeat him by being more powerful. He defeats him because Voldemort never understood the things that actually held Harry together from the start. The story ends years later with Harry, Ginny, Ron, and Hermione sending their own children to Hogwarts. The war is over, the world has changed, and the next generation gets to grow up in peace.